Okay, hello. I made this video because I wanted to finish the examples and so you can see the whole process in case you missed something in class. So let's see. Today we studied multiplying and dividing radicals. Okay, and I showed you this slide. To multiply radicals of the same index, multiply the coefficients and multiply the numbers inside the radicals and put the product under a radical, the same radical, right? Simplify if you can the radical left, and then we had to multiply both answers. So we had this example. Let's see. Okay, it's asking me to multiply the coefficients. Remember that these are the coefficients. These, and these. These are called coefficients, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's multiply them. It's 2/3 times 3/4 times 5 over 6. Of course, you can multiply all the numerators. 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30 over 3 times 4 is 12 times 6 is 72. But what I did in class today was that to simplify these two threes, right? I simplified 2. Half of 2 is 1, half of 4 is 2. So now I can multiply 1 times 5, 1 times 1 times 5, right? It's 5, because 2 and 3 were simplified. Then 3 down there as the first denominator is 1, because I simplified with the other 3 in the numerator. So I had just to multiply 2 and 6, which is 12. Okay, that is one answer. 5 over 12. Now the instructions are telling me multiply all the numbers inside the radicals and write it inside the same radical. In this case, it's the square root. So I write 15 times 30 times 8. Okay, so I can multiply those three numbers, but I'm going to get a very large number, and I have to simplify the radical. So it's better if you do not multiply. It's better for you to just start factoring those numbers. We said, okay, 15. What is 15? It's 3 times 5. What is 30? 30 is 2 times 3 times 5. Now, what is 8? 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, right? Now, if you like, you can rearrange those numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 2's. Okay, so you don't get confused. We have 1, 2, 2 3's, and we have 1, 2, 2 5's, like that. So let's work with pairs of numbers. We have one pair here, another pair, another pair, and another pair. So I'm writing just one number per pair. 2 times 2 times 3, just 1 3, and just 1 5. But nothing is left in the radical. No, we have 1 left inside the radical. But as you know, the square root of 1 is 1. So in fact, I just have to multiply 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, so it's going to be 60, right? So the final answer will be to multiply 5 12ths, this answer, 5 12ths, and 60, okay, to get my final answer. So let's do that. But first, let me just resize this so I have enough room here. Okay, so the answer will be multiply 5 12ths times 60. And I told you in class, okay, there are two ways to do this, like we studied. You can multiply 5 times 60. It's going to be what? 5 times 60 is going to be 300. And 12 times 1 is going to be 12. And then you simplify. But I think that a faster way is to simplify 60 and 12. Okay, 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 60 divided by 12 is 5. So we are left with, in the numerator, 5 times 5, and 1 times 1 in the denominator. So what is the answer? 25. 25 is the answer, as we studied in class. Okay, so the advantage of having this in video is that you can go back, replay it, and as many times as you want until you get it. Okay, that's another reason that I'm doing this. Okay, you can pause it right now, study all the work, etc. Let's continue. The other example, now to divide radicals. To divide radicals of the same index, divide the coefficients. We already know what the coefficients are. The coefficients are right here, this one and this one, right? So divide the coefficients, divide the numbers inside the radicals, and put that quotient, I mean the answer of that division, under a radical, the same radical. Simplify, if you can, the radical that is left. Okay, so let's divide the radicals. I have to divide these two fractions, but you already know how to do that. Remember, please do not make the same mistake as in the quiz and try to simplify this 3 and 3. It's not a product, it's a division. You have to write it as a product first. So 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, I cannot simplify anything, as you can see. It's 8 over 9. Now, inside the radicals, it's asking me divide those numbers, in this case 2. If we have 3, then we divide 3, but you have to divide the first 2 and then what is left. But in this case, it's 350 divided by 7. That is what number? It's going to be 50. 50. We have to simplify that 50. Let's continue here. How do we simplify 50? 50 is what? 2 times 5 times 5. Okay, so let's simplify as you have learned. We have a pair here. So 5 is out and 2 inside. Okay, so we divided the coefficients and the numbers inside the radicals and simplified that radical. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer of our problem is neither 8 over 9 nor 5 times the square root of 2. The answer of this problem is 8 ninths times 5 times the square root of 2. Okay, as in the previous example, we have to multiply the result with the coefficients and the result of the radical. So how do we multiply 8 ninths times 5 times the square root of 2? Let's multiply these fractions. I'm just going to multiply these fractions. Okay, it's a product of radicals. It's like a product of radicals. So let's multiply those numbers. We are not going to touch this square root of 2. We're just going to copy. And let's multiply 8 over 9 times 5 and write it multiplying the square root of 2. So what is 8 over 9 times 5? As you know, you can write over 1 to multiply 8 times 5. That goes in the numerator. It's 40, of course, divided by 9 over 1. 9 times 1, sorry, which is 9. Okay, and that is the answer. That is the answer of our problem. I cannot simplify 40 over 9, right? So that's the answer. Okay. Again, you can pause this video to study, rewind it, okay, whatever, until you get this example, till you understand it. Now, moving on, next example. We saw this example, we have binomials multiplying, okay, the square root of 32 plus the square root of 8, that is going to multiply 2 times the square root of 18 times 3 times the square root of 2. So, how do we do that? Remember that I told you in class, it's like multiplying binomials in algebra, okay? That is, that you have to multiply this square root of 2 by these two terms, and then multiply this term by these other two terms. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so first I'm going to write that I have to multiply these terms. Okay, step 1. Okay, now minus, because it's a positive times a negative, it's a negative. Okay, 32 times the square root of 3. 3 times the square root of 2. Okay, the sign is outside the product, right? The positive times a negative is a negative, and then you just multiply the factors. Then positive times a positive is a positive. The square root of 8 times 2 times the square root of 18. And a positive times a negative is a negative, and you have to multiply the square root of 8 times the square root of, 3 times the square root of 2. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 products. Okay, just like the first example. That's what we're going to do. And let's simplify. I'm going to multiply the coefficients. Okay, we are following the first rule. We have 1 here. Remember, if we don't have a number, that's a 1. That's the one I'm writing here. All of these factors have 1 as a coefficient. So write the product of the coefficients. We're following the rules in the first example. 2 times 1 is 2. And inside the radicals is 32 times 18. Okay, remember that is the first rule. 1 times 3 is 3. Inside is going to be 32 times 2. Now plus 1 times 2 is 2. Inside is going to be 8 times 18. Minus 3. Inside is going to be 8 times 2. There it is. Now let's simplify the radicals. We have to factor, make pairs of numbers, and take them outside, multiplying those coefficients outside the radicals. Remember, we are always going to multiply the numbers outside, that we take outside. So, I told you in class to skip some steps. 32, I rewrote 32 as 16 times 2. Why 16 times 2? Because 16 has a square root. It's going to be 4. And I'm going to write the 4 outside, multiplying that 2. And 18 is 9 times 2. Why 9 times 2? Why not 6 times 3 or something like that? Because 9 has a square root and 2 doesn't, right? So as you can see, I'm writing the largest number that I can that has a square root, right? And the other smaller number is left outside. That's what we are going to do. That's what you can do. You can still write all of the factors and make pairs, right? But I'm just skipping some steps here. It will be nice, it will be a good idea for you to work this problem as before. Okay, 32 again, 16 times 2 is twice 16 plus 2. This is going to multiply. What is 8? 8 is 4 times 2, right? I could have written 2 times 2 times 2, okay, but I will need a lot more space. So, okay, so 8 is 4 times 2. 18 again, 9 times 2, minus 3 times 4. I'm going to write it as 4 times 2 times the other 2. Okay, so let's make pairs. I said 16 and 9 have square root. So I can write the answer, that square root. 16, the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 9 is 3. So outside multiplying. But I see that I have one pair of numbers. One pair here. That pair is 2 and 2. 2 and 2. So I'm going to take those 2 outside as to here. And nothing is left. Well, not nothing. One is left inside, right? Because I took all of the numbers out. Then minus 3. Now, what are we going to take outside? The square root of 16, 4. And I have one pair of 2's here. So I'm taking 1 out. And 1 is going to be left inside the square root. Now, plus 2. Okay. 4 has a square root, 9 has a square root, and I have a pair of 2's here. So I'm taking all outside of the square root. It's going to be the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 9 is 3, and a pair of 2's is 2. And 1 is going to be left outside. Now, minus 3 times what? The square root of 4 is 2. I have a pair of 2's, and 1 is going to be left inside. Now, equals. What else? I have 2 times 4 times 3 times 2. What is that? 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 48, right? 48, and I'm going to write that the square root of 1 is 1. Multiplying that 48. Minus 3 times 4 is 12, so it's 24, and the square root of 1 is 1. Plus 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 3, 24. 24 and the square root of 1 is 1, minus 4, 12, times the square root of 1, which is 1. So let's see, we have 48 minus 24 plus 24 minus 12, so what is the answer? So the answer is minus 24 plus 24 is of course 0. And what is 48 minus 12? Well, is 36. 36. That's the answer. 36. Maybe you can see that, but I'm going to write it here. 36. That's the answer. Okay, those are the examples that we solved today. Okay, so I hope this video helps you to understand today's subject. We are going to solve more exercises tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching.